everybody? It's your boy Peyton PT Tomblin, man, and welcome to the Real Leadership Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. As always, please hit that subscribe button, the follow button, the like button, any button that says you appreciate what I'm doing here, and I definitely appreciate that. I know I've been gone for a minute, vacation time, had to spend some time with the wife, just enjoy some time off to relax. But I'm back, right? I'm back to hopefully continue to pour more value into you all with this leadership principle stuff and self-development to help y'all be the best you can be in whatever endeavor you want to be. So while I was off, I put together a 10 episode series called What Real Leadership Is. And we're going to go back to the basics, right? A lot of the podcasts that I had before was, I won't say advanced, but it wasn't kind of structured in the sense of telling that story of creating people. And now a lot of it was also self-development, because I honestly believe that before you can lead anyone, you have to lead yourself. And in leading yourself, you have to come to grips with a lot of the challenges and gaps that you have within yourself. And I won't deviate from that a lot. I'm gonna try to just add that level of content within these next 10 weeks. There'll be another 10-week series after this. We'll figure out where I'm gonna go after this. But I do want to get into the self-development stuff as well as leadership coaching that you can utilize while you're at work or wherever you are practicing your leadership skills at. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that leadership is a choice. You have to choose leadership. It's not positional. So the one thing that I hated with my time in the military is that you would see people get these stripes and now they want to be leaders, right? And in the military, you almost don't have a choice. It isn't like you get to say, I don't want to be in charge of people. But we know that there's a difference between being in charge of people and actually being a leader. And in some of these organizations, what you have is positional leaders. They're not leaders at all. They didn't really ask or dive into that training to become that leader. They didn't raise their hand and say, I want to take on this leadership challenge to make people live out their best potential in wherever endeavor we're at. So if there's a coder and you're a leader of coders, then you should want that person to be the best coder if that's what that person wants. You're supposed to help them out here. It's not about just you and collecting that paycheck. And one of the things, so, it's not a title. And we've all seen this. You have people at work that people will follow. Maybe that old head who was at work or that lady who's been there for so long that when she speaks, everybody follows her. But when your manager speaks, everybody complains, right? Because there's no trust there. They're not using influence. They're not even trying to get to know you. I said a post a couple months ago where I was telling the leaders, man, talk to your people. It's amazing how many people in charge will walk right past the people who do the work every day that makes them look good. They won't even speak to them. I had an incident where I was in the restroom and one of our higher ups is in the restroom and we're washing our hands, and I'm literally at the staff table with them every week, and he don't even acknowledge me. He just washes and dips out, and I'm like, goodness gracious, I see you almost every week giving you updates on where the project is that is making y'all look good, right? This is a multi-million-dollar project, and you can't speak to one of the people who's running the teams. I had 9 teams. I had 70 people that I was responsible for, and you can't even speak to me? Meanwhile, I'm speaking to all 75 people, right? And that's the difference. So then when they wonder why is the retention low in this organization? Or why do people not trust these people? Or why there's a lot of gossiping going on in the organization? It all comes down to those positional leaders who haven't committed to being leaders. No, leaders are readers. I read every day. I got audio books, I got podcasts. All I do is study leadership. And then I go to work and I execute the leadership coaching that I'm getting from the people I'm listening to from the books and from the podcast. There's people who are in positions who never had any leadership training. They were a good technician. And then because they were there long enough, people were like, hey, you should be, we want to move you up to this position. But meanwhile, they'll sit there and say, well, I don't like dealing with people. I don't want to do timesheets. I don't want to do, well, those things are managers. So we're not getting positional leaders. What you're getting is managers. And those are the ones who always want to use that title. Well, you should listen to me because I'm the team lead. Or you should listen to me because I'm in this position and hold that. And that's cool and that works when when there's that age difference. So when I was 20 or 21, 22, and you're 45, 50, and you're running the title scam on me, then yeah, I'm like, oh man, these people can get me in trouble. At my current age, that doesn't work, right? I understand that you are honestly a piss poor leader because all you have is your title. I know you're the 9-to-5 leader. You're the peacetime general. And now you're seeing a lot of those leaders now with the new administration coming in and making all these changes. There's people in charge. They don't know what to do. Your team lead or your section lead or whoever, they're frantic. I don't know what to do, right? They're not calming the waters. They're making it more anxious. They're adding more uncertainty to the situation that's already uncertain. And meanwhile, you're supposed to look at this person to take care of you for things like promotion, which then puts more money into your pockets, which then gives you the means to take care of your family more down the road. I don't think these people take it as serious as it really is. You're affecting people's lifestyles and their life, right? If your kid needs braces and that promotion will help you, but you got this positional leader who ain't even looking to take care of you. Now, do your kid get braces or do you have to, what are you sacrificing for your kids to get braces at that point? Now, once that happens, do you now trust that leader? Are you running through the wall for that leader? Are you doing anything for that leader? And we've all seen people who we thought were like great leaders, right? Even when I don't agree with them, I still thought they were a good leader, right? As a leader myself, I see things a little different. They see things a little different. Guess what? At the end of the day, the result was still the same result that I would have got if we took it my way. I just didn't like the way they went. But it wasn't my responsibility, which means it wasn't my accountability to make that choice. So they did, and and it went well. But now you have these positional leaders who don't want to make decisions. You ever go into one of your leaders' rooms to ask them a question about something, and they're like, "Ooh, I got to think about it," and it takes 2 or 3 weeks, or they turn it back around and go, "Well, what do you think? What do I think?" If I was empowered, then I would just have made that decision. But I'm asking you because that's how we have to do it. So there's nothing worse than leaders who don't want to make decisions. I had a commander in the military who was like that. Right. One of the things with leaderships is that, yeah, you want to listen to everyone, but you need to be decisive. And when you make a decision, that doesn't mean you need to be like you got to make it on the spot. You could say, hey, give me a day or two to hear and look through the different COAs or course of actions, and then I'll get back to you with an answer. You can't wait weeks to get back. You start to lose the respect of your team. Meanwhile, the influence person who's been there is telling your people, just do this. They're simplifying the situation. While the other positional leader, I don't even want to use that term, the manager is just managing. Right? They just want to make sure your timesheet is good. I had a manager, all they really cared about is the timesheet. That's it. They don't care about anything. Is the timesheet in? Hey, did y'all get that timesheet in? Hey, make sure that timesheet gets in, right? And then you have some leaders who are asking you about your family. They're asking you about your kids. They know your name. Like, you know how important that is to work for someone and they know your name. So I get the first line supervisor should, but so should the second, so should the third, right? Knowing people's names that you work with is so important. That is such a positivity of why people will want to work there and work for you, right? I don't need you to know my entire life, but it is nice that you could at least say, "Hey, PT, how you doing today?" Man, I'm awesome. It's even better when you say, "Hey, how's your daughter's doing in Towson?" Man, that's even better, right? You start to feel valued. You start to feel like this is the place I want to be. But when you start to look across the climate where we are now, so many people are looking to leave their jobs. The only reason why a lot of people ain't leaving is because they don't know where else to go, because in the federal government, they done can't however many thousands of people. And you see bad leadership at the top. That's the top, right? And how he's moving and operating at the speed that he's moving and operating, some of it isn't thought completely through. And through there, you start to leave a level of uncertainty amongst your people. And when your people have that uncertainty, it's on the leaders to make sure to bring that down where they can keep working until the certainty comes. Nah, the certainty might not always be positive, but at least you're not living in this uncertain arena. And I really want to get rid of the positional leaders. Just call them managers, call them supervisors. Let's not let's claim the word leaders and leadership back, because you're not influencing. What you're doing is you're guiding people through some mechanisms from HR to hold people accountable. They're not doing it because you're asking them. They're doing it because if they don't, you're going to take the means to punish them to do it. What type of work environment is that? And people always say, well, in the military, y'all, there's orders and there's that. But the good leaders don't have to utilize that. I never use my stripes to have to boss anyone around, right? And I used to tell people that all the time. I used to, hey, do me a favor. Can you take this out? Hey, can y'all do me a favor? I need y'all to stay late, right? But you have to build that rapport with your people throughout. My first time becoming a supervisor, I had 12 people. They were like, oh, staff sergeant, here's 12. Go do feedbacks with all of them. Go set expectations with all of them. Go get to know their families. And in the military, I used to call it intrusive leadership, because I don't just lead you while you're at work. I'm leading you when you're off work, when you're at home, your family dynamics, your bills, all those things I'm responsible for to make sure that you get it done. So yes, I had to learn personality traits. I had to take those assessments and get to that point of understanding. Meanwhile, there's people here who don't even know what those assessments are, but yet they're leading you, making this money off of you, getting all this credit off of you. And some of them don't even give you credit. Positional leaders, I'm sorry, positional managers, right? We got to get them out of here. It's time to get back to real leadership. It's time to leading things and people back the way that we're supposed to, and developing people the right way so that they could be leaders. Leaders create other leaders, not followers. Everyone that I deal with, everyone I coach, everyone that I mentor, I do it so that they can become better leaders. And you see the growth in them, right? And that's not a pat on my back. That's the work that they are willing to take on. They raised that hand and said, hey, I want to be a leader, PT, but not just at work. I want to lead in my life. I want to lead them with my family. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better brother. I want to be a better sister. I want to be a better, all of those things that they want to get better at. It's all leadership. It just starts with self-leadership. That's what we're going to talk about next week. So, hey, I hope you appreciate it. If you did, hit that like button, and think about what I'm talking about. When you get to work, look at the people who sit in those offices and see how they doing what they're supposed to do. And remember, when you get there, your time will be there. You remember these people and you do not do what they do. You do the opposite. You can start getting into the books now. I could put The book that I would tell everyone to start with for my new leaders, emerging leaders, for the first people, for the people who are just getting in here. We'll go through leadership styles probably next week. But if you want a book to read and you haven't read one yet, get the book by Simon Sinek, Start With Why. That is one of the most powerful books that should shape and guide the way you lead moving forward. That's all I got for you. Y'all take care. Hey, stay real.